Good morning. I'm Tim. Welcome to my stream. This is a stream of my workouts. Doing a body transformation this year. The thing that sets my body transformation apart from other body transformations is that I'm not taking any sort of supplements. So that's no protein supplements, no protein shakes, no protein powders, no creatine, no BCAAs, nothing extra. I'm not opposed to supplements. I just wanted to see what it would look like if I didn't take any for a while. Take a year, see if it's necessary to take so many supplements to hit my physical goals. Uh, that being said, my secondary reason for not taking them is that I one of my kids started preschool, and preschool is expensive. So cutting out supplements saves me at least $100 a month. That's $1,200 a year, and in this economy, every little bit helps. So today I'm going to be doing my chest, so bench press and some chest flies. Got a late start this morning, man, but I'm here now. We're gonna do this. All right, let's go. Gonna warm up with some 10-pound dumbbells. All right. A bit of a late start this morning. I had a weird night of sleep. I have this like banner thing from my kid's first birthday party, uh, and it's a picture from each month of their first year, and it hangs above my bed. And randomly in the middle of the night, it fell down. Half of it fell down, and then I had to find the tack that was holding it up. So trying not to wake up my wife, and one of my kids was in the bed. I'd like search around to try and find this tack, and found it. Thankfully, could have been bad because it's like right behind my kid's head, or right next to my kid's head. So that would have been fun for them to find that tack. And it was weird because I thought I was hearing something like talking, um, and that made me like, where's that noise coming from? I thought maybe someone had left like their phone on, like maybe my wife had left her phone on or something. So I started searching around, and I found my toilet was the bedroom toilet was like running, which was obnoxious, but I just, fixed that. It was weird because it used to do that like off and on, but I fixed it, and now it hasn't done that in a long time. So I don't know if it just randomly got stuck, but I found the two events interesting: the banner falling and the toilet not working properly. So and then of course I had to took me a minute to get back to sleep as my adrenaline spiked when I thought there was somebody in the house. It's always a fun feeling in the middle of the night when you think someone's in your house or something's wrong. When you think someone or something is in my house, that's always fun. Set up the 50 pounds real fast. Yeah, I believe that sometimes weird things happen in the house as a coincidence. I also believe that sometimes there are such things as ghosts or spirits that can be around. And I'm used to that. Like it can still like bother me. But since having kids, it's like more annoying because I don't want anything bothering them. I don't want them being scared in their beds. Usually when something like that happens, that's when I try to pray in the middle of the night that nothing will be bothering my kids or my house, my wife. I feel like the greatest defense against things that are unknown, whether it's human influence or something else, is prayer. Good morning, or good day, or good evening to whoever jumped in. Welcome to the stream. Doing the bench press, knocking out the 50 pounds, 22.67 kilogram dumbbells. And my stomach isn't feeling too happy with me today. I don't know why. I think mostly I'm hungry. Tell you, like counting calories. It's always rough when you create that deficit. And you're dealing with the hunger, annoying, and having that right mindset so you don't take it out on the people around you is important. Yesterday I got really, really frustrated. I was at this children's museum with my kids, and some older kid pushed my kid, and I get it, like kids push each other and stuff, but there's like a big age and size difference between the two of them, where like the parent, they definitely like stepped in, and like I did like right away, and like kept my kid from getting hurt, but I told the parent what happened, and they were very nonchalant about it. Like they didn't talk to the kid right away. They kind of walked over a little bit, and then like by the time my kid was ready to play again, they like just walked out of the room with their kid, but didn't say anything. That's incredibly frustrating. Um, and I don't do well with that. I don't like my kids getting hurt by someone else, and I don't like when parents don't do the job of parenting. That one was 5 shy of where I wanted to be. But it's very, very frustrating. I have to like, if it had happened again, like if after that kid had put his hands on my kid again, I would have been very upset with the parent, and it would have been very hard to control my temper. Like if someone pushes me, I can control my temper pretty good. But if you like hurt someone I love, that's the hard one. Be disrespectful to my wife, be disrespectful to my family, and that fires me up really quick. And I can't afford to lose my temper. Dang it, man. This is not where I wanted to be. It's frustrating, and sometimes you just miss the mark on an exercise. And now I'm trying to decide, do I go for it again or lower the weight? I think I'm gonna go for it again. I'm gonna do one more set and see if I can get closer to the goal of 15. Did 3 sets of 15, 1 set of 10, 1 set of 8. But I'm gonna try for one more set. One more set before I drop the weight. I just don't want to drop the weight so early. Got this. It's that hard part. Like sometimes picking your path. Anybody out there ever read the Choose Your Own Adventure books? I wrote a series of books, like I'm sure they still do them, where you get to pick your path. You know, you get to make your own decisions and see how the story goes. Those were always fun. I always kept my finger where my last choice was made so that I could go back and redo it. And I'd read through them a few times because I would, you know, second guess or want to go down the other path. So now I'm choosing my path. I'm like, do another set. Maybe I shouldn't. We'll see. All right. That was 11. All right, we're down to 40. I think sometimes the frustrating side of the of working out all week is when you make gains at the start of the week. You know, you get excited. It's like, yeah, I hit this harder, I did this harder, and then by Thursday, you're a little bit more fatigued, so it's harder to make those gains. And actually, last week, I knew it was going to be hard to reproduce last week because last week I didn't do biceps on Monday. Rolling into Thursday, I was shy a workout, which made it easier to push hard that day and hit new levels. So that was the big contributing factor there. It's okay. I will just keep moving. When it comes to working out, I feel like the reality is that real failure comes from when you stop working out. You know, there are days where you feel like you failed because you just didn't hit it as hard, or you got tired faster than you normally do, and you can feel like a failure. And I think it's important to shake that feeling off and just be like, like it didn't work out that day as well as I wanted it to, but I'm not giving up. I'll be back at it tomorrow, and tomorrow will be a better day, and just keep pushing. I mean, that's like everything in life. You just, as long as you're still like putting in that effort, as long as you're still trying, you're not really failing. And you hang it up and I'm taking my ball home and I'm done playing, then you've failed. Just don't quit. All right. Moved on down to the 40 pounds. It's 18.14 kilograms. I'm going to try for 5 sets of 15. Let's see how far we can get today. There we go. That one was a weird set. I didn't like, when I rolled back, I didn't center myself on the bench perfectly. So I felt a little awkward. That's okay. That's I said, man, there's this game that pops up that reminds me of there was on the original like cell phones that we played with in like 1997. I think it was Nokia. There was a game called Snakes, and all you had to do was go around and eat apples on the screen, and your tail would get longer and longer and longer, and it would be harder to avoid running into yourself. If you ran into yourself, you lost. That was such a fun game, and everybody played it just to see who would get the highest score. It was like a continual thing. I haven't played that game in a long time. There's like an advertisement for a similar game on the TV. You should find that game and play it. There's some games like that that came along that were pretty addicting at times. The other one was like simple. It was like a helicopter game where you would just hit spacebar to make your helicopter go up, and that was it. And you have to avoid objects by letting it drop, and that was a fun game too. It's always amazing to me how the simplest of games can just pull you in. There was a site, I want to say it like started in like 2004 or 2006, called addictinggames.com. And you can still find this site I think Nickelodeon bought the site, but Addiction Games was just a site where people would make like the simplest of games in Flash and post them up, and you could play just random games. Um, they were a lot of fun. There was like one where um, there was one where it was all he did, and there's plenty of versions of the game, but it's like ball drop. So the ball drops, you have to control the ball to get it through the gaps. That one could really suck you in. Um, and I like there were games where people took like Mario Brothers and they changed it into um, Mafia Bros, and you were playing through like the regular game of Mario, but you would get a gun instead. That was that was fun. And you could upgrade your gun. And there were castle defense games where you would, progressively defend your castle against more and more enemies. Those kind of games will suck you in. You get upgrades, and then you try and figure out which were the best upgrades when. Just super, super simple games. That's why that ball on a stick with the cup game probably lasted so long. I bet you if there were no cell phones, those kind of games would still be popular. Or the paddle ball. I never got good at that. Like pre cell phones, yo-yos were making a huge comeback. Like I think it was like 1997, 1998, just before cell phones took off for everyone. People were just really getting back into yo-yo. And they had yo-yos that, had gears in them so you could do tricks easier. And then there were like the yo-yo purists. They're like, oh no, you can't have gears. You gotta be able to do it, which is the plain yo-yo. Yo-yos that lit up, yo-yos that sparked. That was a fun trend. I think the weirdest trend that became like super popular when I was in middle school were kids with pacifiers. And I'm talking about like junior hires and high schoolers were walking around with pacifiers, and nobody understood it. If I remember, it was supposed to be like a branch off of like rave culture or something was the explanation that was given back then. I've never looked into it, but it had to do with being drug paraphernalia or making it look like you went to like raves and parties. That's why it's funny to hear parents that are my age or younger talk about kids today and like the things that they don't get, like, that they do. And it's like, you guys did some pretty dumb stuff too. Anyone that remembers Pogs should not be like poking too much fun at kids these days. Like parents that are like, oh, they just buy like different Fortnite stuff all the time. Just think back to when people played Pogs and were spending money on little cardboard circles with graphics on them. That's what people were doing when I was a kid. And the other one that took off when I was a kid, I was like probably 1992 or 1991, were trolls. Like kids had trolls everywhere. These little trolls, and they were cute. And then they came out with battle trolls, and like that's what hooked in all the boys, was getting battle trolls. The girls would have like the cute trolls with the jewel on their belly or stuff, and guys wanted the battle trolls. You give some tiny creature a battle axe, and little boys will want to play with that. Like if they would just finally make battle Barbies, really lean into it, I bet you they would get boys to buy Barbies more. Battle Ken, give Ken some weapons, give Barbie some weapons. A whole new market would open up. Oh, come on.
That was 5 sets of 15 with the 40-pound dumbbells, 18.14 kilograms. I'm supposed to move on down to the 30s. But for giggles and grins, I'm going to do one more set with the 40s. Earlier I was talking about just this kid at the Children's Museum pushing my kid. This kid that was like considerably bigger than mine and older than mine, and kind of their parents or their dad not doing anything about it really. And it's one of those like frustrating things because you shouldn't blame the child. You know, it's the parent that's like not doing their job. And then it's frustrating because you don't know this dad's like story and this family story. Like, what if he's, you know, he's a hardworking dad. He doesn't spend a lot of time with his kids. So he doesn't spend a lot of time disciplining him. And this is his like one time to take his kid out. So maybe he's just doesn't want to fight a battle with his kid on his one day. Or maybe he's a divorced dad and he, you know, doesn't take responsibility. And this is like one time to hang out with his kid. Again, doesn't want to fight his kid on that day. Or he's you know, maybe he is a disciplinarian or he wants to discipline his kid, but his wife or partner doesn't do it, and he's just tired of being the only one and hearing his wife complain about him disciplining his kid. Either way, the ball got dropped. And what sucks is if you don't discipline with your children, as much as it is a bummer and as frustrating it can be, like the world will eventually discipline your kid. Whether it's through, you know, the hard line of they do something stupid and they go to jail or prison or get shot, or it's just the other side where they just can't maintain a relationship, they can't maintain a job, and they just go from job to job because they have no discipline, getting increasingly bitter and just having a rough life till they figure it out. This world will discipline your child if you don't, and will bring suffering to your kids if you don't figure out how to discipline them and help them learn. But it's a bummer. It's a bummer to see a kid being led or let down like a wrong path. All right, here we go. 40s again. Let's see what we got. I had two, or I have two Marines for parents. My mom and my dad both served in the Marine Corps. And you might say like they were people, and I myself may say there are ways that they were a little heavy-handed with discipline, but they always did it with the best intention. And because of that, the world doesn't really have to discipline me. I know how to be a good and just person. All right, we're gonna move on down to 30 pounds. This is 13.6 kilograms. I'm lost in my thoughts a little bit. All right, time to move to chest flies real fast. Time for one more set. I gotta go. All right, that is it for today. It's been fun. Got quiet there at the end. Sometimes I get caught up in my own reflection, thoughts. All right, thanks for coming by. God bless you guys.